For 12 long years, from 1933 until 1945, Adolf Hitler was Lord and Master of Germany. The outcome was a world war, a genocide, and 50 million dead. As the war came to an end, the Nazis were rendered harmless. Not all of them, though. Thus began the tracking down of Nazis. Those who had managed to elude punishment, such as Lischka from the Paris Gestapo or Barbie from the Lyon Gestapo, were hunted down all over the world by exceptional characters, such as Wiesenthal, an Austrian survivor of the camps, a young German woman, Beate Klarsfeld, who would not accept oblivion, or her French husband, Serge Klarsfeld, another Jewish survivor. All of them acting alone with an unyielding, obstinate courage in a forgetful world, in spite of constant threats and murder attempts. They have been tracking down Nazi criminals for 60 years in the name of justice and memory. At the turn of the 60s, Germany recovers its sovereignty. It has made peace with France and set out on the way to Europe.
Die Tatsache, dass Charles de Gaulle hier ist und von Ihnen so herzlich empfangen wird, beweist, wie unsere beiden Völker schon einander vertrauen.
The Cold War leads to Germany's rearmament. The ex-officers of the Third Reich have formed the new army and won't be blamed for their past. Obviously very isolated, Wiesenthal has no other task to attend to other than his stamp collection. Yet, an amazing piece of luck will revive his endeavor. A collector friend shows him a rare stamp from South America on an envelope with an address that puts him on Eichmann's track. He is in Argentina. The net of former deportees now locates him in Buenos Aires. But he will not transmit the news to the Germans. They might do nothing. The address is sent to the Mossad, Israel's secret services. Israel wants Eichmann alive. The Mossad sets up an operation. The head of the Mossad himself, Isser Harel, leads a commando that will abduct Eichmann on May 11th, 1960. The secret agents cart him off and serve him, to comfort him, a kosher meal. That same day, May 11th, 1960, is also a great day for Beate, who is in Paris as an au pair girl. That day, she meets Serge Klarsfeld, a student at the political sciences school. He is Jewish. His father let himself be deported to save his family. He died at Auschwitz.
Donc c'était quand même pour moi, je dirais, une Allemande non juive qui rencontre un juif dont le père a été tué à Auschwitz par les Allemands pendant que mon père servait dans l'armée allemande. Ça a quand même déjà mis des relations un petit peu spéciales entre nous deux. Il y avait à l'époque parmi les amis de mon futur mari un genre de méfiance envers les Allemands. Et puis je me suis dit quand même, je ne suis pas coupable parce que je suis née en 1939, mais c'est mes parents qui ont été responsables pour leur... mais pas moi. Et puis j'ai essayé peu à peu, avec l'aide de Serge, qui entre autres était historienne, qui m'a donc... remis les documents, les livres nécessaires à lire et pour vraiment comprendre finalement ce qui était arrivé en Allemagne entre 1933 et 1945.
The Eichmann trial will contribute to Beate's awareness. It will be the first great televised trial, a Jewish Nuremberg. But the simile goes further. Eichmann's defense attorney is Mr. Robert Servatius, one of the lawyers at Nuremberg. The SS Adolf Eichmann, in the hands of his worst enemies. Eichmann, in his glass box of the special court in Jerusalem. The Eichmann trial will last 6 months and arouse the entire world's acute interest, and that is its actual aim, to awaken an international awareness.
Legen Sie die rechte Hand auf die Heilige Schrift.
Ich schwöre nicht auf die Bibel, ich schwöre bei Gott.
The charges of indictment are crimes against the Jewish people, crimes against humanity, and war crimes. Eichmann sputters an answer. He attacks the president of the Zionist World Organization back in '39.
Ich sah während des Krieges, nach der Kriegserklärung von, nach der Erklärung des Zionistenführers Dr. Chaim Weizmann, sah ich die Juden als Feinde Deutschlands. Aber
Ich will kein Aber, ich will eine Antwort, das genügt mir.
Eichmann is out of his depth. The audience is disappointed. He is not the monster reckoned on, nor the arrogant SS, boasting of having had more and more Jews killed. In fact, it's his line of defense. He claims he was merely a small cog in an infernal machinery. Oh no, says the prosecutor. He personally made much worse the most criminal measures. Eichmann will be sentenced to death on June 1st, 1962. Israel will furnish neither films nor photos of an execution which closed a trial that was a very important step in the hunting down of Nazi criminals.
Since the Eichmann affair, no one of the prominent Nazis in South America sleeps longer than 4 weeks in the same bed. This is also a part of the sentence.
This will also concern Mengele, now permanently on the run. Mengele, the Auschwitz physician, who practiced selection on the deportees arriving at the camp. He chose those who would die at once and those who would live for a time. In May 1960, the Mossad almost succeeded in getting him on the same plane as Eichmann, but Mengele managed to escape to Paraguay, then to Brazil. He is now the most wanted man in the world. He survives because his family is wealthy and powerful, and because local South American governments have reasons to protect him. Wiesenthal persists in his tracking down of Nazis, particularly those from his native Austria. One of them is the police officer who in 1944 arrested Anne Frank in Amsterdam. Karl Silberbauer, sentenced to a mere 15 months in jail for having belonged to the Gestapo. During a wedding party, Anne Frank is here watching normal people who have the chance, at the time, of not being Jewish. This is the only existing film where she appears. She will then hide in her attic, where she will write, for 2 years, a masterpiece published after the war, The Diary of Anne Frank. Denounced, she is arrested with her family and deported. Anne Frank died at Bergen-Belsen in March 1945 when she was 16 because she was Jewish. She has become the symbolic figure of persecution. Every year, Amsterdam freezes to attention in remembrance of her. Beate marries Serge, who is now a lawyer. She writes an au pair guide and works for the Franco-German Youth Office. But she also keeps scouring Germany's recent past with Serge.
Serge a fait tout pour me faire comprendre ce qui s'est passé en Allemagne. Et puis donc, je dis, j'étais certainement ouverte aussi. Ça n'aurait pas été la même chose si j'étais restée en Allemagne, et certainement. C'était très bon pour les Allemands de connaître un autre pays, surtout le pays Europe, comme la France occupée, et aussi sentir les réactions des gens envers les Allemands.
Ludwigsburg's research center in South Germany will represent the first official effort to safeguard what has been saved from destruction during the final weeks of war. Thus, trials such as the trial of Auschwitz guards, having previously avoided punishment, can be resumed. They will be heavily sentenced. This will be one of the greatest post-war trials in Germany. It will open the eyes of a generation who now feels guilty, as this prosecutor or this lady onlooker do.
Have you formed any conclusions in your mind as to how it happened?
Well, this leads to, in a way, philosophical ideas, but I think there is a certain inhumanity within the German people, and this might be the reason for what had happened.
Somehow I feel we all are responsible, every one of us, because it has happened in Germany and we all are Germans and we somehow have to carry what had happened in history.